of winning is back. It's been 30 fucking days, 30 fucking sleeps, and it took FESTIVUS for the rest of us to finally win a fucking hockey game, everybody. Woo! And let me get this damn thing off. I've missed it, but I haven't. Woo! Buffalo Sabres have won a hockey game, folks. They finally won a hockey game. Mind blown, right, Ty? Absolutely mind blown. I can't say that enough. Happy Festivus, everybody. The Buffalo Sabres absolutely boat race the New York Islanders. My score prediction after the first period was actually 7-2. They won 7-1. So pretty close, but whatever. Who cares? Who cares? I tweeted it out. I think the Sabres passed on doing a Christmas party this year. They decided to air their grievances in a team-only party. Then the feats of strength were tonight on the ice, and they dominated that game from start to finish. That was the best game they played all season long, and I'm happy to say the suck, at least for the next 24 hours, is over, Ty. It's over.
It was a long time coming. We needed it. I was going to joke around and be like, yeah, they gave us this win for Christmas just so Kevin Adams gets to stay longer. But I can't be upset about the performance because the guys you wanted to step up really did tonight. It's really surprising, too, when you look at some of the numbers. Like, they out-attempted us by almost doubled us. I think we had 30 shot attempts. They had 59. But shots, totals, like, right on par, because what were they doing? Actually playing defense, getting bodies in front of shots, and forcing good chances. And then we had more high danger scoring chances than they did. And I'm going to take that every day. And if you look at a bunch of the goals we scored, amazing defensive plays all around, guys retrieving pucks. Yuri Kulik with 2 steals for 2 great opportunities. One that he scored, one he got an assist on the Benson goal.
Benson goal, yep.
He looked phenomenal tonight. That's oof.
Kid line is back. I think the kid line's back, man.
It might be.
Yeah.
They just had to mix it up. Had to drop Quinn off and pick up Kulik, but they might be going.
I can't forget before we get into the nitty gritty. Remember, guys, this is brought to you by Fatty Beer Company, Western New York's premier market and tap room with over 300 beers to choose from at all their locations, with live music, entertainment, and trivia. Make sure you check out any one of their 24 beers of Christmas while they still have them. Phenomenal. I got a case of it this year and last year for Christmas. One for my dad, and he loves craft beer, so he enjoyed it very thoroughly. Always great times at Fatty Beer Company. Make sure you let them 2 goalies when Mike sent you. And of course, Buffalo Logo. Got a couple pieces of merch from there today for Christmas, a little early Christmas gift. They sent me some of their blue collar gear.
Ooh.
Because we're all blue collar in Buffalo. Some pretty nice stuff.
That's very clean.
Yeah, right. Very clean. I like the color scheme. I guess you can call it Sabres, and they gave me the hoodie as well.
Oh yeah.
You see that? As I
little comfort colors.
Model, yeah. Pretty good stuff. Make sure you check it out at Buffalo Logo Co. on Instagram and Twitter, buffalogo.com. Great stuff for any of you. If you support local, buy local, they're the way to go. Buffalo Logo. Getting right back into it, to a lot of the points you made when it came from the kid line. I think this was Kulik's coming out party, honestly.
100%.
His ability that on the Benson goal specifically, he read that to perfection. And the second he picked that puck off, I'm like, wow, man, that was like a veteran read right there. Like he saw that.
He feels like he finally is seeing the game properly. Yeah. Like he feels like he's at that speed now. Usually it takes kind of like 15 to 20 games for a lot of those guys, especially the really high talented guys. And then once they hit that stride, it's like exponential growth after that.
Yeah. And I said it, while we were during the game, I tweeted out, he goes, the one thing I love about Yuri Kulik, Kulik or however the hell you want to say it. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's Kulik. Starting to sound like Craig Rivet, mispronouncing names. Sorry, Craig. Anyways, no, the one thing I love about him, man, is he zero hesitation in shooting. He
Yep.
shoots, man. He is not afraid. He knows and he understands how lethal of a release he has, and he uses it. And I'd say I don't know how many shot attempts he has a game or how many shots on goal he ends up with a game, but like he's not afraid to shoot, man. I bet you Lindy Ruff loves him about like he was. I don't know what his time on ice tonight was, but I know he was leading the team after the
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, there was a couple plays a few weeks ago where I think I was on where we talked about like, hey, he didn't really need to pass out of that one. Like he would have liked to have that back, and like Lindy talked to him about that. Someone is listening to the coach, and someone is learning.
Yes,
Guys are maybe progressing.
I can I think he's a star in the making. It's to have a shot. I honestly think he has the best shot release on the team, better than Tage and better than Quinn. Like Quinn has Tage has a cannon. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
like he has a great shot, dude. But
that snap on his goal in the third was
incredible. My God, yeah, both goals, man. Like that first goal, I think it was clocked in at like 65 miles an hour. Yeah, that doesn't that's not earth shattering that, but like Sorokin didn't stand a chance because the release was so fast. It was
you don't see it
like that.
You're not ready for it.
Yeah. So I can't stress it enough. Might have the best shot release on the team. Quinn, like Jack Quinn, is he back? Like, he has finally started to come around. I think he's taken some hard learning from Lindy.
Yeah.
Even after a game where he had a streak there where he had a couple goals, Lindy sat him, healthy scratched him, comes back and has his best game of the season tonight. No doubt about it. And that shot, that goal, that is the guy we've been waiting for impatiently. Like that. Granted, that was a shot that Sorokin absolutely wants back because of the angle it came at. But what an absolute bomb from the circle.
Was he the one that also missed the one off the crossbar earlier in the second period, I believe, on the power play? Sure like smoked that. He smoked that shot too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing with these young guys is like when you run into trouble, it's like, how do you get them out of it? Can you find that game again? And Lindy has proven that he can do that with young guys like throughout his entire career, whether it was, with the Sabres, he had some troubles at a few points with the Devils, couldn't pull him out of it last year. But he is a guy who's going to, still have confidence to play his guys. Even if he's going to take you off, he's going to put you back out there to put you in those same spots to succeed and see if you've proven that growth. Just showing that you've listened to, some of the coaching and some of the, little tweaks you can make into your game to make things come to you a little bit easier. And especially, with Quinn today, with Cooley, like these guys seem to be trusting their instincts. They know the game. It's the same thing we saw with Benson for a little bit last year when he hit a little bit of a skid. He was taking all those penalties that were not penalties, most of them. And I think that got into his head a little bit. He started to play, a little bit more milder of a game. And we've seen it, that fire from the end of last season to this season, even during the losing streak, he's still been showing it and been, a great, exemplary personification of what we want of a Sabres player. You want that 60 minutes. You want to battle for pucks. You want to make those good plays, but also to be able to see things on the other side of the ice to make that pass or to take that quick shot. And we've seen all of that from Zach Benson, and we're starting to see it from some of these other young guys. It hasn't been consistent during this last losing streak, but there had been flashes. There were a couple periods where they did it, and I think they sat back in the other two periods to send a message to management. Like, yeah, you said we're not good enough. We showed you we could do it for a period, and we're just going to coast the rest of the game just to kind of send it to you. And they got their message through, I'm sure. They sent it also to the fans, which sucks. But if we can get some, consistent growth from these younger players, give some of these guys chances, maybe get Rosen up here at some point and see what they have. Like if you continue to send the same guys out who keep losing year after year, you're going to keep losing year after year. You have to bring these young guys up. I know you don't want to just bring them up into a losing culture and like it's nice to leave them in Rochester where they can get some more wins, but most of these guys have had some time down there now, and they've gone through a playoff run in Rochester. They know what it's like. They know what the grind is of, this full professional game at this point. And you need to start seeing it on a consistent basis from all of them. And it's great to bring that competition in for some of these guys who have these spots where they think they're solidified in everything. Like, you have to keep pushing, or else these young guys are taking your spots. We don't care. Like, we'll waive you. We'll trade you. We'll figure it out. We're going to put guys in spots to succeed, and putting Kulik on that line today, I think, was a great move by Lindy, and I'm excited to see what they can keep doing.
Yeah, I know Lindy has like a past of like, being rough on the younger players. The first names that come to mind, I think, is like Fedoganov, Derek Roy, Thomas Vanek. He was never made it easy for those guys. And I don't think he was really made it easy for some of these guys. And I think
especially with Derek Roy, though, I think it was like, get the fuck off Chippewa.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But you want to know what? What? Shout out to Johnny Cullen, who used to talk about this in his OHL days when he was coached by Dougie Gilmore used to tell him, he goes, "Hey man, I don't care how hard you party away from the rink, but when you come to the rink, make sure you're ready to play. Like, if you want to, party hard, you better be ready to work harder." And I mean, that's that team back at, the first, Derek, Timmy Conley, all those guys, man, they partied hard, but they played much harder on the ice.
100%. Sure. There was never a lack of effort with those teams, at least.
Oh my God.
Like, even those kind of up and down years before they got hot, like, they still always grinded. Like, they were always a team who was on the cusp of the playoffs one way or the other. It's a coin flip every year in the NHL. And I don't know, you just got to start segmenting the season up the way Lindy does. We're playing, 5-game segments. Keep winning 3 out of 5 the rest of the way. And you're going to find some spots where, get some loser points along with it. Maybe go on a 5, 6, 7 plus game win streak. Like, you can get yourself back into it because of the way this division is played for the most part this season. You just got to keep finding that consistency, finding that will and that urge to play that they had today.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. Before we get into like all the good stuff and break down each goal for goal, it's been a minute since you've been on with us. I always love having you on because you're just one of the more brutally honest guys I know, brutally honest fans I know, especially in the group chat. I want you to air your grievances with this team right now. I know it's Festivus. It starts with airing of the grievances and then the feats of strength. I want you to air your grievances pre-tonight. I know that tonight is a nice bright spot heading. We got one more win here in 2024. I think their next game is against the Blackhawks, right? On the
27th. Friday.
Yep. We're actually doing a live show if you want to come out from Fatty downtown, not too far from other half.
I'll figure out what time I'm working Friday.
Huh?
I'll figure out what time I'm working Friday, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll stop by other half after the fact for sure.
Yeah, either way, we'll figure it out.
But airing of the grievances, get it all off your chest. Like, how have you felt about this team leading into tonight?
I didn't care at all. I was at work today, and I was like, oh, the Sabres game is about to be on, and the few people at the bar all looked at me, and I was like, oh, I'm putting it on. And they're like, do we really gotta? And I was like, I feel like if we don't, like, they're definitely getting killed. So, like, we got to at least throw it on. And literally every time I kept going away to do something and come back and they scored, and you see the replay, I'm like, what? Like, they're actually playing defense? My biggest grievances are that they do not play consistent. I want consistent hockey. I want games that matter at the end of the season in March. I want to be wearing shorts into the arena for a playoff game. I want these things back in my life. I want Kevin Adams out of my life. I think he needs to be gone, because how do you not even return calls and send a counter offer and ask for, like, just buku shit and just be like, maybe someone is desperate enough to give me something crazy that I can actually win this trade? Like, you got to at least try. Like, to not return these calls, the dude is sitting on his thumbs getting paid 7 figures a year to do absolutely nothing. Well, guess what? I started a franchise mode on NHL 25 last night, and guess what? The same shit happened. I was in second place going into December, and then at the end of January, I was out of the running and in last place in the Atlantic. The game is somehow too good, but besides that, like the franchise just needs to settle down, top down. You need to figure things out. You need to hire a director of hockey operations, someone who's actually won championships in a front office or on the ice and knows what it takes to do those things and to help make some of these decisions with Kevin Adams, who is a first-time GM who didn't even know how to send emails when he started as GM at Harbor Center. I have that from a very close personal source who taught him how to send emails. Like, we got to think about these things here. Like, there might be a reason why he's not getting back to these guys. I don't know if he knows how to use his phone. He probably doesn't know how to check his voicemail. But from there, you have to look internally, look at your game presentation. Why does no one have fun there outside of the bad hockey? Like, we got a new Jumbotron. Why do we not have on ice projections anymore? Somehow they're in the video game, but when you go to the arena, there's nothing. We just have blue and yellow lights that swirl around. There's so many things we can be doing that the team does not want to invest in that can keep people still at least wanting to come to the arena. We need to continue to do those things. We need to make the arena a place that people want to be. We want to cheer for the Sabres, and it shouldn't take the team going into the third period and getting a goal disallowed that brings them within one to get the fans into the game. The team should come out early and show they want to play. Come out and prove to these fans, like Lindy Ruff said, and earn that respect, earn the cheers, because as soon as they do, it's not going away. This city, this entire region, this entire fan base has been waiting for this. I'm about to turn 30 years old. The last time we made the playoffs, I was a sophomore in high school and got tickets with money from my first job. I have season tickets. I want to go back. Get us back. Just do things. Yes, Power just... Hold on. Next grievance. Owen Power, fix your fucking helmet, dude.
No, keep it tilted. That's on
fix your point. Fucking helmet. He literally got his helmet knocked off, goes into the box, and I make a comment.
Yo, literally, it's like he's intentionally. I think he's intentionally doing it at this point.
What are you doing, dude? Like, your visor is like halfway, like cutting your vision off. Like, that's got to be annoying as hell. Oh my goodness.
I love this, Kevin. I'm still not my fault.
It might not be your fault, but it's your boss's fault. And if you don't stand up to your bosses and get fired for trying to do it, exactly. So if you don't get fired for standing up to your bosses, you didn't try hard enough.
It would be hilarious if this was actually Kevin Adams. It would be
that picture, that's definitely Kevin.
Listen, I want to say this. I want to get this out there, airing of my grievances. We've all heard me air my grievances over the last month. I don't think I have to keep pushing it. One grievance I do want to air is out on that cesspool of a Twitter app or X or whatever you want to call it these days. I still call it Twitter. I have noticed, I know you're not on there anymore, Ty, but there are some random troll accounts on there that have started to pop up since the heat has really been on both Terry and Kevin. Since the fire Kevin's chances started, since the sell team chances started. I've been a target for a lot of it. It's kind of crazy. Like, I normally just, you know what I mean? I do. Honestly, I have learned to just, in one ear,
we haven't even been calling it. Yeah.
Dude, literally, I've been calling out a lot of these accounts, and I am positive I am currently a target, probably of one or two people with multiple accounts. I caught one of them. I definitely caught one of them, and he knows it too. Caught one of them being coming at me from one account, and then essentially saying the same thing from a troll account, which ends up being like the troll account had like 3 total tweets, and his other account was the only account that followed that account. And then they both
make it even.
One account he had the word soul. In the one account, and in his one account, in his handle, it says the word soul, and then in the bio of the other, something about souls. I don't know, but like, it's so obvious. It was so obvious that this is the same guy. And like, the only 3 tweets this other account has sent since like 2021, they're all like racist and bigoted. And I called him out on it. And then he just sent me like a paragraph. He even offered to talk to me on the phone or something. But like, dude, like, these are my grievances. Like, the amount of troll accounts that there's like an account out there right now. Alex Jones, something, which is kind of funny. who constantly just gargles the balls of Terry Pegula. It's insanity. Just defending him and Kevin. It's wild. It's wild.
That one sounds like it might be a joke.
Dude, and it's gotten the attention of all of the like major Sabres Twitter accounts.
Yeah, that one sounds like it's probably a joke.
Yeah, it has to be, right? But like
the lizard people are running the Sabres.
Yeah. They are, man. They are.
Oh.
But there's three of them specifically. One guy, his handle claims to be a Leafs fan. But if you go through his timeline of the last 2 months, he doesn't ever tweet about the Leafs. Never tweets about the Leafs. He has not once tweeted anything Leaf related, really, at all. Not really, really at all. In like the past month.
Sounds like guys who just can't get girls to go on dates with them, and they have nothing
straight
to
up.
do.
Straight
if
up.
you guys want to play video games,
his,
just hit me up. Like we can play Chell, and I'll beat that ass.
All his replies that are hockey related are him and Sabre on different Sabres accounts, just bashing, bashing anybody who wants to sell the team, bashing anybody who blames the general manager, you know what I mean? Like bashing me. It's like it's wild, man. I'm pretty sure
if it's anyone, it's probably Terry's son.
Might be. It might be. It's crazy though, and that
definitely mad after those fucking terrible shirt designs they released.
Oh, how about the cum hat? The cum hat.
I forgot about that one.
Right?
Oh,
it's good stuff. But no, let
funny. Your kids design merch and not someone who actually cares about the team and knows about design.
I know.
Like
I put him on blast. I put the Leafs one on blast. He told us, me and a couple, we're all a bunch of weirdos or something like that. And then one of his last.
If I was Terry Pegula's son, that's exactly how I would hide it too. I was like,
yeah, right. Yeah, one of his last replies was telling Livy Dunn in some video of her at a Devils game, like, I blew you a kiss, Olivia. So I screenshot it, and he goes, yeah, man, we're the weirdos. Meanwhile, you, a full-grown man, are blowing kisses to a 22-year-old girl. Okay, I'm pretty sure they're all, but that's
with one of the most high-profile boyfriends in the country.
Yeah, Paul Skeens
in the world.
Good luck. Yeah. And he's with his wife in his profile picture. It makes it even better. Alan, his name's Alan. Apparently, if that is really who it is, probably not.
It's definitely really no.
But because he doesn't tweet about the Leafs, so I'm pretty sure it's not a real Leafs fan.
Leafs fan in New Jersey? Nope.
No. He claims to be a Leafs fan, but he just does nothing for months on end talk about the Sabres. So, those are my grievances. Because everybody knows all of my grievances before this. I don't need to repeat them. Now we get into the feats of strength, which,
Jack Quinn's really hard shot.
I know, man. But feats of strength tonight. Where do you want to start?
Probably Kulik.
I think so, right? Like
that was the brightest spot of the game for me.
Yeah, I listen. I think that, granted, again, we mentioned before, he has Lindy's trust, no doubt about it.
Yep,
he has all of Lindy's trust. You don't get that kind of ice time under Lindy Ruff, and we've seen it in the past, back when they were winning, like him being out there in overtime, him being out there in the games, like. Mm-hmm. It's a hard thing to do, whether Lindy's evolved or not, is to gain his trust. It seems like Yuri Kulik has a tie.
100%. And he was a guy who was able to make the roster, out of camp. Like he had a great prospect development camp showing, which he should have because, he's older than most of the guys at that point in there. He's had time with Rochester, and he wasn't able to crack that, that roster immediately. It took him a little bit of time, some injuries. He's found his way in there, and we've seen a bit of flashes at different points, but he's doing the little things. He hasn't been one of those guys who's not tracking back. He's been winning faceoffs. He's responsive defensively. He's creating chances and was being a little bit too unselfish at points. And now, Lindy's gotten into his ear. There were a couple of games, where he passed some pucks he probably should have shot and maybe had a slightly better opportunity because it was a crowded pass. And now he's trusting that. He's taking those shots, and we saw that, especially on that last goal, in the third period where he just snapped it. He caught Sorokin sliding, boom, snapped it, far side, sliding away. And when you're doing that and you're finding those things, you're, making those reads to find those easy steals, you're not letting them get out of their zone. You're keeping that pressure on. You're getting those guys stuck into that deep, in that deep water. You're out there for a minute. You get caught out. Your goalie's sliding around back and forth, and you're going to get goals. You have to grind in this league to get goals. Not everything's just going to be boom, transition, make a move, score. Lindy's talked about this, especially early on coming in. Like, you have to be able to score these goals, these big moment goals where, hey, not everything is going to be clean or pretty or beautiful. We saw that so many times with, the Sabres in 06, 07, around that run where the game's close, we're pulling the goalie, do whatever the fuck you got to do. Like, guys are getting in front, guys are diving to save pucks out of the corner to get back up to the point. When you do those little things, it opens up your game. If you can trust that and trust the other guys who you're on the ice with especially Dylan Cousins looking a lot better the past few games as well. It seems like he's kind of finding himself. You're going to be able to continue to push and continue to grow. And with that chemistry on that line, if you can stay together and keep doing things, like, you can be very formidable in this league because all three of those guys are very skilled. And when they want, they can do everything on both sides of the ice. They can transition the puck well. And we saw tonight, like, guys just blocking shots, getting in lanes, just not letting things get through. And if you keep doing that, like, it makes the rest of the game easy. You get those transitions, you get those turnovers. Keep it up.
Yeah, I listen. Between the play of Kulik, Jack Quinn just finally, has he figured it out? Like, was it a health thing? Was it a health thing coming back from the Achilles?
Which is weird because he looked good at the very end of last year when he came back. He looked good when he came back at the end of last year.
But didn't he get hurt again in training? He was hurt coming into the season. I could have swore that he was rehabbing again. I could be wrong. People in the peanut gallery, if you can remind us, look that up for us. I think that I want to say that he somehow hurt himself again.
Obviously, he came back last year, had the other one, and then came back at the end of the season.
So
I don't know. He could have got dinged up.
Maybe.
Either way.
But Deanna Michael wants us to give her a friend request so we can shout. Oh, God, I love the bots are back in the chat. The Sabres are
I don't know. That looked like a real picture.
It might be.
Should I send her my social security number?
You should. You should definitely send her a social, date of birth, mother's maiden name.
10 Target gift cards.
Yeah, I can't. Regardless, beyond that, UPL looked fantastic tonight. He has struggled during this 13-game stretch. Like, he hasn't looked like his normal self. He was in the zone. He was dialed in. Should have had a shutout tonight. We won't talk about that. If I did see a stat that was kind of crazy with you winning 7-1 tonight, I think Owen Power was a -1.
Yeah, I believe so. He was the only guy.
His strength because it's impressive.
Yeah, and he was the one guy today. I was just kind of like, like, he was doing some stuff, but I just don't think he was really helping very much offensively. Didn't love his game tonight at all. I did like that he mixed it up a little bit. Was kind of willing to get in there and, like, step up for his teammates. Like, you're a big boy, get in there, get between guys. Like, don't let Cousins get punched in the face by Cizikas or whatever else is going on out there. Like, so that was at least good, but I was not too happy with the on ice product from him. We're gonna have there's gonna be up and downs for everyone, especially young defensemen. Like, we've talked about this a bunch, like how long it took Victor Hedman to figure things out, and like it's like that for so many guys. Just because a couple like Cale Makar came in and ready to play, but like he also actually played college hockey and like played high level there, like, and there's so many more adults, and which is a whole nother thing now with juniors players now being able to go into the NCAA system, and JUCO is not going to count towards NCAA eligibility anymore. So like there's going to be all sorts of craziness. So like in general, like it's basically going to be a feeder system for the NHL. So we're going to see a lot more of these older guys coming into the league who are more ready to play, which I think will be more advantageous. I think it's going to happen in baseball too, where you stop kind of drafting these high school guys because they're going to have so many places to go and develop and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it's tough when you're only developing 17, 18-year-olds over and over. It's tough to figure that out and piece that all together.
Yeah. Okay. Chicago, I mean, they've been playing really well, but that's definitely a winnable game.
100%.
Right? That's a team that's rebuilding. I'm not sure who their goalie is right now. I'm usually good with that. I have no clue who their goalie is.
Oh, I was watching some of their game the other day and I can't remember.
I have no clue. Regardless, man, you have to imagine, going in the new year, we're getting a lot of backup goalies. Got to take advantage of that. And if this was, I would say like the only line that wasn't playing well tonight was probably your top line, which bugs me because that's the line you definitely need going every single night. It need them to be showing up on the score sheet. Tage got an empty netter tonight, sure, but at the end of the day, like you need Tage.
Empty netter with 9 minutes left.
Yeah, and Zucker. Did Zucker play on the top line tonight?
Because
the kid line was back together.
I believe so.
Yeah. So I mean, Zucker scored, sure, but like that, still, like I would say the top line was the one who definitely.
Zucker was power play though, no?
Yes, it was. It was. So you can't even count that as Mrazek. Mrazek is the goalie. I can't believe he's still there. No, I need more from Tage. I need more from Tuck, and I'm not gonna hassle Tuck too much because you've seen it on his face, man. Like it's really taken a toll on him, this losing streak. So if there's any guy that's like,
and he's the one who's always answering the questions.
Yeah,
he's out there every game, no matter
what. Man, he is out there just taking.
And he's actually accountable.
Yeah, like, and I said it like I went on a mini rant like a week ago. I can't even call it a mini one. I said, dude, like
we've all been
the letters off their jerseys.
Yeah.
Except for Tuck, honestly. Like,
yeah,
he's been the guy. He's been the face, and he's definitely been the one that's not trying to say it affects each individual guy more or less emotionally, but
he embodies what Lindy said.
Yes,
like earn the respect back of the fans.
Yeah,
because Tuck was that fan, and he understands it, and like he understands why we're upset. Like he wants the Sabres to win more than anyone in that locker room, and if you can get a couple guys just to start buying in on that and like understanding what it's like Tuck, get in their ears, like show them the pictures of you going nuts, like at the party in the plaza, like tell them what it's like to be in that, because most of these guys were kids, like they don't even understand. Like I was almost a kid still, like I was barely in high school. Like it's just different. Like when the Sabres are good, the whole city is behind it, just like they're behind the Bills. And to have that back, like it's what we've all wanted for so long. And if the guys buy into it and care, like you'll get it back. Like you've seen it when they go out there and show effort, the fans get loud, they get up. But it's tough when you lose 12 in a row, like.
Yeah, it is. I'm just taking some screenshots of the chat right now because I don't know if you can see all the comments.
I haven't. I didn't even click over from private chat.
Oh my god, man! The comment. I can't put some of them up. Some of them are wild. I can't wait to share them in the group chat. Some good stuff though. Always good stuff from the Peanut Gallery whenever we go live here at I'll Hang Up and Listen, and Two Goalies with Mike. What are we thankful for?
T levels are down. Good call.
I know, man. I know. What are we thankful for heading into this, obviously Christmas, or happy holidays to everybody too. I know not everybody celebrates Christmas, but like happy holidays to you all. What are we all thankful for? Even in the chat, man, like just Sabres related, non-Sabres related. Are we grateful for this win tonight? What are you thankful and grateful for at the tie?
I'm thankful that hopefully our season ticket rep respects our decision to not fucking ask us over and over about renewing until they start winning games.
Yeah.
We told them we have to figure shit out. But honestly, the biggest thing is I'm thankful that there are still passionate fans about the Buffalo Sabres, so I don't feel psychotic and like I'm the only person like that. Sometimes it feels like screaming into the void at times, but there's other people doing it with us, so it's a good communal experience, and sometimes you got to get it out. And at least last weekend I was able to get out snowboarding, and that was my therapy to clear it. Like, you asked me to hop on and I was like, nope, I am snowboarding.
I
Like,
envy you, man.
completely forgot about the game. Like, did not care one bit, and it was nice to get away and do that. But there's a lot of games I got to go to, so hopefully for the city of Buffalo, because that's all I care about and lived here my entire life. I just want us to, win a Super Bowl this year. Let's get to a Stanley Cup and win one. We got to do these things because a lot of our families are getting older, and I want them all to have that experience before they're gone, because I know there are a lot of people who wanted that for a long time and didn't get it. And these players on both these teams, I think the Bills understand, and they feel it and they see it and they get it. Like, it was great to see the Sabres go to like a Bills preseason game. Tuck, go take them to a game right now and show them what the Bills fan base is really like, what the city is really like when you're fully behind something and you have that opportunity and there's that complete exuberance. Like, if you can give us games even that matter in March, you're going to feel it. And that's going to carry over to the next season. Like, let's at least get to there. Let's get a win streak. Like,
yep.
I'm thankful I'm unfortunately going to be there if that happens. Because if not, I'm still there and I'm going to turn in a bunch of tickets and get a bunch of extra tickets the other games, so I can bring a bunch of friends. So I'm thankful for that.
Kevin Adams, I'm thankful for our prospect group. It's rated high, guy.
And that's even the funnier part when I did the rebuild on NHL, because I traded a bunch of prospects and I got like Matt Dumba to play with Owen Power, and I got Ricard Raquel as an extra third line winger, and we were doing great. And then I just fell off a cliff, just like the real Sabres.
Wow. I'm thankful. Obviously, everybody knows how I feel about this team, how much I love this team, but I'm thankful for all of you guys. I've said it for a few shows in a row now. Being a Sabres fan is tough. Being a Sabres fan who has to talk about the team live on air after every game is even tougher. But having you guys in this community we've built over the past 2 years has really made it more stomachable and fun. It has. I'm sure, Ty, you would agree. We get actually the other day, I'll look up his name. We were doing the built-in Buffalo tailgate at the Bills game yesterday. I forget his name, but we were handing out free cans of Monster. He said, "Hey, are you Duane?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh man, we watch your show. I watch your show all the time. Whatever it's the podcast or the post-game show. Really respect what you guys do. This, that, and the other." And I'm like, that's cool. You know what I mean? Like, that's cool. Like, to know that we've developed that type of a community and that we've been able to, that we've had that type of a reach. And, I'm trying to find his name right now. I just recently followed him.
I'll give you a perfect timeout to find him.
I wish I could. And if he's watching, just know, I didn't forget about you. I just can't find you right now, unfortunately. I know we just recently followed each other. God.
Yeah,
Damn,
but
I don't know. Regardless, if you know who you are, what I'm talking about, shoot me a DM and I'll give you a shout out on the next show. But I appreciate all of you guys. I really, really do. wouldn't be able to do this without you. If there was no chat involved here and it was just me talking here, I would have lost my fucking mind by now. But having the thoughts to be able to bounce off the chat, and obviously with the guys like you, Ty, and Connor when he's here, Johnny, the once in a blue moon that he's here, it's definitely therapeutic. Put that. So I'm thankful for that for sure.
Oh, 100%.
When is the next Fatty event? Fatty, actually, we are going to be going live from the Fatty downtown. I'm going to put some information on it tomorrow morning for all of you. Actually, maybe even tonight. They got to put together a graphic, but we're going to go live pregame from the Fatty Beer downtown Buffalo. Make sure you check it out. Maybe Ty will be there on work. But for sure, it's going to be a great time. Me and Hurl's in Buffalo visiting family.
If Connor's back, we'll figure it out.
Oh yeah. We'll have a good time.
Right next to the Hyatt, right down,
mm-hmm.
Right off Main Street, over by the Gold Dome.
Mm-hmm. Yep, right over there. Actually, right there, next to the Hyatt. From Hunter Rose, and I am grateful and thankful my epilepsy hasn't killed me, and I'm glad finally got a job that I enjoy. I work with dogs. Also grateful for my family and QB17. Hunter, you follow the show quite a bit, dude, and really happy that things are going well for you. And there are a couple other guys we showed their comments here on the screen. I'm thankful for all of you, and I'm thankful that things are going well for you guys, and you find optimism in a world where there sometimes isn't a lot. So, Steve, where has Rob Ray been? Is he okay? They've been really quiet about that. After the Toronto game, he was at the arena because when Brian Koziel was doing his post-game show, you could hear him joking around in the back room, and Brian Koziel was joking with him. So he was at the game against Toronto. I'm assuming maybe he has been given time off and they just haven't really said anything. Maybe it's a family matter. I've heard different things, not things I'm not going to say here, but I have no idea. Really, I don't have an affirmative answer for that.
Yeah, so. Everyone keeps asking me when they look at the TVs. I'm like,
nobody has any idea.
Well, half the time they're just like, "Where's Marty?" Because it's like the intermissions, and I'm like, "Oh, he's doing play-by-play." They're like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know where Rob's been. Hopefully everything's all good with him. Like Rob is a great guy, great in the community. One of the guys who's actually stayed here in Buffalo, the rest of his life, which is absolutely amazing, and goes to something I saw in the comments about like the Bills players understanding what the drought meant and like what all this means to the city, and like feeling that, and like I don't know if it's just because of maybe them watching the Four Falls of Buffalo documentary, or if it's that they live in the South Towns and the people in the South Towns have more of that Buffalo spirit because they get that snow. They have that city of good neighbors. Like you're shoveling your neighbors out all the time. And all the Sabres players go and live in the North Towns and Clarence and East Amherst, where, some people have some sticks up their ass. And they just don't understand what the city's like and what the people here actually are. Like, let's show these guys, what it's all about. Like, start winning some games and like prove yourselves to us, and you'll see what this city is and like what they care about and how they care about things. Like, you want to see it, watch the damn Bills games. You see guys out, it was like single digits before the wind chill yesterday, and there's tons of people out there with their shirts off for the Bills. It's going to be the same thing if the Sabres ever go back to the playoffs.
I love it.
Whether it's warm or cold, they're going to be out there pouring beers all over themselves after every single goal in the playoffs.
I love seeing it. Obviously on TV when they have obviously shirts off is really representative of Buffalo, and being blue collar. Find it at buffalogo.com. Fantastic blue collar hoodies, blue collar brand. One thing that did actually, let's do the shirt one more time from Buffalogo. Great gear. Make sure you go check them out at Buffalogo Co on Instagram and Twitter. They're tagged in a lot of our stuff online, so you can find them there too. One of the things that did piss me off last night, though, I was picking my dogs up from my uncle's because they had the nice big fenced-in yard. My uncle loves both my dogs, so he doesn't mind watching them when I go to a friend's house for a Bills party or whatever it might be. I had stuff to do, a lot of stuff to do yesterday too. kind of them flexing the game kind of threw a wrench into a lot of my plans. I had to flip some stuff around. But anyways, I'm driving back from my uncle's. It's like 9:30 at night, almost 10 o'clock. And I turn on to Mineral Springs. He lives over on the side street off Mineral Springs, down near Harlem Mineral. And there's a guy, younger, maybe your age, I don't know, no shirt on and in short shorts, jogging, like legit jogging. And I'm like looking at it, it's 7 degrees. I'm like, I'm like,
Built
this
different.
guy's an asshole. He's just an asshole. I'm like, what an asshole. Like, what are you trying to prove, man? Like, I couldn't believe it. The only thing I could think of, like, is he preparing for some type of marathon? Is he getting to climb Everest? Like, I didn't understand it at all. Like,
Who knows?
7 degrees, jogging in shorts with no shirt on.
I mean, people who run for fun are just a different breed to begin with.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Ooh,
but I
hold
am
on.
seeing here.
I gotta bounce this question off you real quick before
Okay.
I forget. Football players generally come from lower income areas, more blue collar, like their families and parents work, like they understand that. Hockey has been a more affluent sport over time. Like you have to have money to get in the travel teams, get in blah, blah, blah. Could that potentially be where the disconnect is with a lot of these players, where like they think they're coming into a big ritzy city and it's the exact opposite, and they just don't understand that blue collar work ethic? Like I think I might have just figured it out. Like,
I think,
like let's only draft from Hasek's heroes.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Honestly,
I think I put it all together.
Yeah, I think you are. I think you did. I guess Rob Ray will be back for home games starting now. I'm not sure if that from Amp here. They mentioned him back next home game.
I'm not Connor.
Yeah,
Connor's not here today.
Connor's not here. Another Steve Noble. I am thankful for so many Buffalo sports has great podcasts. I live in Tennessee. And it makes me feel like I'm back in the 716. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. And there's the one thing I do appreciate too is every time we go live, there's always somebody new in the chat. Always somebody new in the chat, and it makes me feel like we're doing our job. On that,
I'm getting smacked with toys now. Yeah, I told you.
I mean, you guys, at one point, you guys did have similar mustaches, but you always have an elite stash, so.
Yeah,
final thoughts.
He's a redhead.
Yeah.
We did play on the same baseball team at one point, but
okay.
Whatever. Final thoughts. Consistency. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Like they haven't been able to do it for 60 minutes throughout the entire season. Side note, did you see there was a punch card on the Sabres Reddit for like 10 palm trees, like for 10 losses. 10 losses was like a fire your GM card.
Yeah.
And they had to extend it an extra row and like crossed out the 10 and made it 15. Just unreal. Like the one good solace about all this is like the camaraderie between the real diehard Sabres fans, like especially on Reddit. It's been fucking hilarious the past few weeks.
Dude,
like,
you want to talk about cesspools on Twitter, man? Like Reddit is its own like cesspool,
yeah.
But it's a good one, and I love it.
Yeah, and the memes lately have just been absolutely incredible. So follow it. And like the funniest part is like they were losing 12 games in a row, and it went from like the 18th most popular NHL Reddit to like the 14th. Like they're just climbing the ranks just from us losing, and everyone wanted to see all the fucking memes that keep coming out every day. It's absolutely incredible. But get back to it, consistency. They haven't been able to do it throughout the entire season, even when they've won a lot of these games. They went into that shell at different points, whether it was the first or third or multiple periods at a time. They finally put together, a full 60. You have to keep doing that. You can't just do it for one night. The season is 82 games long. And to be able to play in the NHL, you have to understand that consistency is your biggest it's your most important factor towards getting towards your goals, which is to get to the playoffs, to win a round, and to get to the Stanley Cup. Like, you cannot get to those points if you're not consistent throughout the entire season. If you want to ride the roller coaster, you're not going to get there, because those lows are going to be always lower than your highs, because most other teams are going to play a consistent game, and that's why they're in the playoffs year after year. So what you have to figure out is, how can we do that night in and night out? What are those things that I have to do to be able to make things easier for me offensively? Hey, if I'm pinching on these plays, or if I'm doing this, I'm doing that to help out my winger, or to, track back on defense to let, Darlene take that rush or do these things. You have to start figuring that out. You have to get that communication going. You're getting close, to halfway through the season at this point. You have to be able to get all those things set in stone to hopefully give us some kind of run going forward, to where fans can at least I mean, it'll just be like last year, to have some sort of excitement going into the next season, but like, prove that you can keep it up consistently. If you can do it for, the last 50 plus games of the season, whatever it is at this point, we'll be happy. If you can keep doing that, maybe some people will renew their season tickets and come back next year, because if not, they're not. Your fan base is going to be entirely gone. So figure it out, put it together, and keep doing these things.
Mauricio is thankful for your favorite
little
IP recommendations.
little drip from Counterpart up in Canada today.
Mauricio, you should find a way to get the Buffalo on Friday, bud. Come and have a beer with us. We'd love to meet you. I know Connor would.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
He's always on Connor's case.
I remember that. No, I'll just point him directly. Oh, that's another half can. Get that.
I want to get to the last couple thankful, grateful posts here from another new listener, Brooke. I'm grateful that my horse hasn't ripped my brand new blankets this winter. It's the little victories. Also grateful for a Sabres win. More Red Wings Sabres fan here. I'm grateful for finding this show and someone who expresses how a good portion of the fan base feels. Now, with that said, Alex, Brinkett, for Bowen, Brian, thoughts on this?
No.
I love Bowen Byram, man. I think he's been great. If you can't keep him because of how much he's going to want,
if he doesn't want to resign,
that's one thing.
That's different.
But I think Bowen Byram has been their best defenseman. He just has been. And it's nice to see Darlene get back on track tonight with 4 apples. There's another thing we didn't talk about. I had Darlene with 4 assists.
Yeah.
Really, really quiet 4 assists, but still 4 assists nonetheless. And he said he's going to be, he's done sitting out games for maintenance. But I think Byram has just been absolutely.
He's been more consistent defensively than Darlene, and his breakout game has been very good.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. That being said, guys, I got nothing left. I just want to wish you all a happy holidays, a Merry Christmas, a Merry whatever it is you celebrate. We respect it all.
Merry Chrysler.
Man, Merry Christmas, Happy Festivus.
Merry Christmas.
We will see you guys on the 27th live.
Happy Honda Days.
That's exact. Happy Honda Days. Happy Honda Days. Exactly. I'm thankful for all you guys. Thankful that you guys popped in for the chat, and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to all of you. Without a doubt. And remember, this is brought to you by Fatty Beer Company, Western New York's premier market and tap room with over 300 beers to choose from. Make sure you join us live from the downtown location on Genesee Street. Fatty Beer Friday pregame right before the Sabres Blackhawks game. For the first time on a live podcast, my co-host Connor Hillier there. It sounds like Ty B is going to be there as well. We have to go buy some mics. Get multi-mic set up here. But extremely excited for that. Make sure you come check it out. Bring your palm trees. Wear your beach gear. Bring your beach balls. It's going to be a great time. And as always, Buffalo Go Apparel. Make sure you get hands on some blue collar gear. They have so many options when it comes to the Sabres and Bills, mostly Bills, but they have some cool Sabres options on there too. Make sure you get your hands on some of their blue collar gear, something they've been really pushing and asked me to push. Great stuff from Buffalo with love, blue collar. Go check them out at Buffalo Go Co on Instagram and Twitter, at Fatty Beer on Instagram and Twitter. I am Duane for All Hang Up and Listen, and Two Goalies, One Mike. My co-host for tonight, Ty B, one of the Buttes, not Connor. Ty B, not Connor. We got to get that fixed whenever Connor's not on, so people don't make that mistake. But as always, guys.
No, I just got a mustache. Now I'm Connor.
Now you're Connor. Yes, now you're Connor. I'll do audio for you, Duane. I appreciate it, guys. He's got gear. All right, man. I'm gonna hold you to it. You better show up. I don't know what your name is, but shoot me a message on whatever platform you follow me on, and we'll make something happen. But with that being said, guys, as always, as always, go Sabres.